Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Jess. I am here today to share with you my delicious polenta chip recipe. It is gluten-free, dairy-free and soy-free. So for me that is a huge win because that means my whole family can enjoy it. I found it a little tricky to find these sorts of recipes, so I thought why not get on here and share them with you guys to make life a little easier. Let's get started. The ingredients. So for today's polenta chips, we're going to be using some chicken stock. Any form of chicken stock that's gluten-free, dairy-free and soy-free will obviously be okay. I like the Australia's Own organic brand, and I do like to get the salt reduced. And on the back they do list under the ingredients that it is gluten-free, so that is a win. We're going to need a form of milk, so any milk substitute that your family uses will be fine. I like to use the rice milk, and again I use the Australia's Own organic brand, and it does state down here that it is gluten friendly, so that's perfect. We're going to need some form of butter, so I do like to use the Nutlex original, and I do like that it says down here that it's gluten free, dairy free and soy free, so that's safe. We're going to need a form of polenta. I just picked this one up in the shop. Let me take you through and be great. You're going to need some form of herb. I like to use thyme, and I just tend to use the dried herb. Some salt and pepper. Alright, so let's get cooking. First step is to measure out 2 cups of the chicken stock and 1 cup of milk. I'm just going to pop it here into my measuring cup. This is coming to the boil. I just thought I might tell you a little bit about our story and why I've decided to come online here and share with you some delicious recipes that are gluten-free, dairy-free and soy-free. So I have a gorgeous 14-month-old boy. His name's Finn. He's been dairy-free and soy-free since about 4 months of age, give or take. Now we also need to be gluten-free. So it's really important to me that I find some lovely, delicious tasting food that my husband and I can also enjoy, but something that's also safe for Finn to have. And obviously if he actually eats it, that's always a bonus as well. He really does love crispy sort of textures. So something like polenta chips that have been cooked in the oven that have a bit of a crispy outside and a soft, smooth inside is really the type of texture that he likes. So these polenta chips are always a hit. Alright, let's just see how this is coming along. I can feel the heat coming off it. It's almost at the boil now. It's coming to the boil. We're just going to get our polenta. We're going to measure out 1.5 cups. So just measure that out. Obviously it's really important that you, with gluten-free cooking, make sure that no cross-contamination occurs. So before I started this cook today, I wiped down all the benches, got rid of all breadcrumbs. Make sure that I use my separate measuring utensils just to make sure that there is no risk of cross-contamination in the kitchen. Alright, so this is almost at the boil. So just as it comes up to the boil, you're just going to reduce the heat down. I like to reduce it quite low. I'd rather take my time with the next step than to rush it and risk getting any lumps in my mixture. So now that that's at the boil, we're just going to go along and reduce that heat. Take my polenta, and I'm going to start slowly, whilst it is on the heat, just slowly sprinkling it in, whisking the whole time. And slowly but surely, this watery liquid will come into a delicious, thick, creamy mixture, looking like. Just going to pour in some polenta. Keep whisking away. This step does take a good 5 minutes, maybe even 10 to be honest. Just take my time, no hurry. So now that I've added the first half cup, you can see that the colour is starting to turn yellow, which is exactly what we expect. I'll just actually turn that heat up a little bit. I think maybe I've just reduced it a bit too much. I still want a fair bit of heat in there to help thicken the sauce. Alright, I'll start adding the next. this doughy type consistency, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn that heat off. And I'm going to pop that pan just on a heat resistant board. That's it. So as you can see, it's hard to show you with one hand, but it really is a thick dough. Now that that's off the heat, we're just going to add our nutlex butter substitute. So I usually add a good 2 tablespoons of this. I don't really measure it out 100%. Just a sprinkle of salt. And a sprinkle of pepper, but like I said, not too much pepper, to make sure it's fin friendly. And then I will also just go and add, I do like to add quite a bit of thyme, because by the time you mix it through, it doesn't actually end up being that. So at the end, you're left with this real doughy type consistency. You can almost call it like bread dough. That's exactly what you're after. So now that that's all fully mixed, I do just like to line my plate. I might just put that there. And so all you really need to do now is just pop the polenta in the tray. And then you just really want to flatten it out all the way to the edges. So now that we've got our polenta in our dish, we just need to pop it in the fridge for about 2 hours, give or take. It really can stay in there longer. I've left it in there overnight before and they turned out absolutely fine. So this is something that you want to do the night before. Feel free, chuck it in 12 hours, not a problem at all. I do put it in uncovered, so it'll just go in the fridge like this. And I'll be back when we go taking it out to cook them. So we've just gotten back from our lovely trip to the aquarium, which I actually also filmed a little bit of. So watch this space, you're going to see a lovely little video of our family adventure to the aquarium coming out at some stage in the future. But anyway, back to the good old polenta chips that we're making. So I've just gone ahead and taken the polenta out of the fridge. I am just talking a little soft because Finn is just down for a sleep right in the room next door. And Aaron's also sleeping on the couch. We won't tell him that we're filming. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the polenta out of the tray. So because I use baking paper, it actually just lifts out really easily. Pop it onto our bread board and we're just going to cut it up into chip-sized pieces. So I've cut the polenta into about 20 chips and we're just going to pop them here onto our baking tray. So now we're just going to dust them with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I like to just put a little bit in a bowl to make it a bit easier to spread a nice thin, even layer. So I've just got the oven on, what have I got it on? I kind of want it on about 180, fan first of course. So we will come back in about 20 minutes and see how they're doing, and obviously give them a turn and another coat of our olive oil. At that stage, if you want to put a little bit of salt and pepper on, you can. I tend to not, just to make sure that Finn can eat whichever ones he wants, and we'll touch base when they are ready to be eaten. our delicious polenta chips. Oh, look at that golden goodness. They look fantastic. So crispy on the outside. Well, these look like they have turned out perfectly. I'm just going to leave them on the tray now for about 5 minutes, let them cool down, and then they will be ready to pop either in a Pyrex dish and in the fridge, or I think I might eat some. Yummy. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time with another episode of Cooking with the BBs. Bye.